Hi everyone, we're doing something new. I I've had people reach out to me and ask if I can do readings of articles on various topics, especially as they're studying English. Now, of course, this is not an English lesson. This is not even coaching. This is just a reading on articles that people have told me uh, are important to them. So I thought I'd do a reading and provide some discussion questions at the end, as I would do with my reaction videos. And I wanted to ask you what you think about the topic. So let's go through this quickly. Today's, how to say this, EFL students, um, excuse me, let's do this again, have a study time with me. And these are my thoughts, and I'd like to know your thoughts on today's NGU article. So, excuse me. All right, the article in question is from The Guardian, and oops, excuse me, let's make sure everything is running as it's meant to be. Yeah. All right. Today's article is on the NHS beginning mass rollout of weight loss jabs to patients in England. All right, here we go. About 220 patients expected to receive Mounjaro over 3 years as GPs can prescribe the drugs for the first time. Okay. Thousands of patients in England will be able to access weight loss jabs via their GP from Monday for the first time. The mass rollout on the NHS means family doctors will be allowed to prescribe the drugs for the first time. About 220,000 people with greatest need are expected to receive Mounjaro, also known as tirzepatide, and made by Eli Lilly on the NHS over the next 3 years. The drug works by lowering blood sugar levels and slows down how quickly food is digested. From Monday, GPs in England will be allowed to prescribe Mounjaro to severely obese people living with a range of other health problems. Patients previously needed to access the drugs through a special weight loss service. GP leaders said some family doctors had expressed concern about the additional workload, while pharmacy experts also said that there could be pressure on supplies of the drug. In the first year of the program, it will be offered to people with a body mass index BMI score of more than 40 who have at least 4 other health problems linked to obesity, such as type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and obstructive sleep apnea. Estimates suggest about 1.5 million people in the UK are already taking weight loss drugs, which may have been prescribed through specialist weight loss services or via private prescription. Professor Camilla Hawthorne, the chair of the Royal College of GPs, said, while we recognize the potential benefits of weight loss drugs, we know many GPs are concerned about the implications of the rollout of weight loss drugs into general practice, both in terms of workload and training to appropriately initiate and manage these treatments. GPs and our teams are already working under intense workload and workforce pressures, and this must be factored into this rollout in order to guarantee it can be delivered safely. More widely, while weight loss medications have a lot of potential benefits for patients who are struggling to lose weight and who meet all the all the clinical criteria for prescription, they mustn't be seen as a silver bullet to aid weight loss. Also, we need to see a focus on prevention, stopping people becoming overweight in the first place so they don't require medical intervention later. Oliver Pickard, the chair of the National Pharmacy Association, said the demand for weight loss jabs continue to rise sharply as the NHS is now moving to implement National Institute for Health and Care Excellence guidance. Tirzepatide becomes prescribable to more patients. We expect to see prescription volumes increase rapidly, he said. However, NHS provision won't meet demand straight away, so we fully expect that many people will continue seeking it privately from a pharmacy. All right, everyone, let's have a little discussion. And I've prepared questions here. And I understand some of you may not know what a GP is. This is a general practitioner. I live in Japan, and people often say, if you're ill, go to the hospital. In England, we say go to the doctor, and we mean go to the GP. And yeah, what is this? This is just your personal doctor who has your medical history on file and is able to prescribe you drugs that are at a cheaper price and sometimes only available through them. And what is a prescription? A private prescription is a doctor recommended medicine. Again, something usually afforded you through your country's health service. And there you go. So let's start the discussions. Question one, should the government spend money to provide weight loss drugs to people? Why not? Well, my view is yes, because from the UK, I'm quite liberal on this particular topic, as I feel having less medical expenses to worry about is actually good for the health. Although this is a controversial topic for some, because while in countries like Japan, where I'm at right now, or in America, health insurance is not only costly, but it made painfully and costly evident to be a strain on the taxpayer. So while in the UK, I have the luxury and privilege of not having to think about that so much, I have to bear that in mind also. Is this something that is particularly urgent? I'll tell you one thing. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. of the President Donald Trump administration under the Maha regime and through his President Trump's advisor Elon Musk through his Doge program had made aware to many people around the world that even the NHS had been subsidized by USAID, which had been largely defunded since Doge from Elon Musk had put a stop to a lot of the unnecessary expenses were coming out of America. So perhaps in the future we will start to notice through lack of subsidies the actual cost of some of these otherwise subsidized but non-essential medications. All I say is, while we can afford it to cover it through the national health system, it's less stressful. But let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, question two. Do you think taking medicine is a good way to lose weight? What are the pros and cons? Well, I understand a famous medication in the West, particularly America, Ozempic, is championed for helping people reduce weight by suppressing appetite rather quickly. The downside is that it has quite a few side effects, which I don't know to heart, but I know has opened the market for competitive weight loss remedies to hit the shelves. While this is a good thing for capitalism, allowing people to have competition in the market and to look for alternatives that may suit their health needs more, it comes back to, excuse me, what is the opportunity cost or the most efficient way of losing weight? Personally, I think the best remedy should be doing exercise, but that's not always available to everyone. So all I can do is speak personally and say I think it wouldn't suit me because I'm keen on physical exercise, but to each their own. I think the general public should have to say. We should weigh up the pros and cons individually, but of course, allow people options that are available in the wider market. Now, question three. How can societies prevent people from becoming overweight in the first place? Well, I say, again, through encouraging exercise more than consume medicine. And I know medicine is a broad term that sometimes relates, well, of course, relates to therapies as well as other forms of treatment. So I have my own bias on the subject, but I do not want that to impede another person's means of resolving their issues at a manner most convenient. It comes down to something else as well. Speaking of MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, advocated by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Trump administration, sometimes there are insidious additives added, or ingredients added to recipes of famous dishes in the country, such as seed oils, let alone food dyes, etc., that have slow, sometimes quick, the detrimental effects to one's weight loss efforts. So one thing societies can do is to, just as we do in the UK, we don't allow certain products that are allowed in America for some reason, which seem to be profit driven as to why they are allowed, that would impede our health quite drastically. So yes, on one hand, we can discourage poor health practices, but of course not disallow because we have freedoms. At the same time, we can go after companies that are effectively tripping people up while they're pursuing their treats that should be afforded to us who have worked to earn them. They aren't necessary to enjoy a good meal. And I'm talking about ingredients that are socially available in foods that aren't necessary for having a delicious dish. All right, question 4. Should patients be responsible for their own weight, or should doctors help more? Of course, we are always responsible for our own weight, and doctors can help if we ask. That's my general philosophy. It comes back to my interpretation of how Jesus operated. Jesus never helped anyone who never asked. As much as people praise him for being very charitable and caring, I understand he didn't just find people who are of ill health and heal them. They often reached out to him. In fact, they always did. As far as I understand, please correct me if I'm wrong, but we are responsible for our own conditions. So I think doctors can do their best. Should we ask? Finally, question 5. In your country, is obesity a common health problem? What is being done about it? I understand it is a common health problem in Western countries in particular, but also in some countries in the East that aren't spoken about often, such as the Philippines. You'd be surprised. I understand it's associated with poverty in many cases, being perhaps a third world country. But of course, there are a lot of starving people there too. But obesity is not always a matter of overeating due to a lot of finance available, but eating poorly. And yes, this is why places with poverty in America, and yes, there are places that are poverty stricken in their own way in America, being stricken with an obesity demographic is because of the quality of the food available to people. So what's been done about it? All I can speak of is one topic that's not only quite popular world round, but it's drawn my attention what Amaha of the Make America Healthy Again coalition is doing via Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in association with Donald Trump, which is to tackle harmful ingredients that have been allowed to proliferate for too long. I'm not too familiar with what's being done in the UK other than what this article has revealed to us today. But let me know what's happening in your country and what is being done about it. All right, everyone, that's it. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you on our next video, and let me know what you think of this format of article discussion. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.